It is almost 6 a.m. and I am here at Barlow Pass. And today I am meeting up with a new hiking partner who may or may not want to be on camera, so we'll see. And we are going to be climbing Gothic Peak today. This is a peak you can climb in Gothic Basin, and I have been to Gothic Basin before. I've showed a lot of the trail before, so I'm going to show, a brief montage of the beautiful climb up and then start shooting more footage once we're in the basin and start doing the scramble. Gothic Peak is a easy class 3 scramble and looking at about 10 miles round trip with just around 3,500 feet of elevation gain. Right now there's clouds, but that is going to burn off. It might make for some really moody summit pictures. But like I said, 10 miles, so I have got to get going on up this trail. Should be beautiful nonetheless. So we made it to Gothic Basin and it is beautiful, but still some cloud cover. The peak, we have to climb up that, and then the peak is somewhere up in the clouds there. So not in a rush, and gonna chill and enjoy the meadows and climb up to the upper lake and wait for some of these clouds to burn off, because it does look like they're burning off. So just gonna take our time in these beautiful meadows. Gothic Basin is so cool. There's just a bunch of backpackers right now, so hopefully we're the first ones up the peak. Well, we climbed up to Foggy Lake. This is the large lake up here in Gothic Basin, and is still partially frozen. Beautiful. And then the peak here that you can kind of see part of, that's still Campo. And then that is Gothic, and really hoping that it clears up so we can get a view. But I mean, view of the basin is already lovely, but Foggy Lake is so pretty. I didn't get to see it last time. Now, making our way up the steep boot trail to the summit scramble, and it's going up this scree and rock by Foggy Lake down where we were, and then going up into the cloud. And the plan is to summit and then wait for the clouds to clear, and hopefully we get a view. Oh, you can kind of see some peaks poking out over there, and then our ridge. All right, so this is looking like at the point where we start scrambling up this. The summit is up in the cloud there. I can kind of see it, and we're just gonna cross our fingers for some semblance of a view, but plan is to continue walking up here and then get in this gully, and then up to the summit, the very, very foggy summit. Just came up this very loose slope, and oh look, it is kind of starting to clear on this side, and this is the final scramble block to the summit. The summit is right up there. summit of Gothic Peak. Waiting for Jenny to get up. This is actually a really fun scramble. All the footholds and everything is really, really fun. And it's a pretty easy route to find. And you know what? I'm just excited for getting some semblance of a view. We're not going to get the open view, but it's kind of clear, and that is good enough for me. All right, well, we are gonna head back down off of Gothic Peak. It is really fun up here, but this is definitely not going to burn off, and definitely have to do the down scramble, which is gonna be interesting. Got the helmet ready for rockfall, because I think there's more of a risk of that on the way down, and just gonna take it slow and steady down back to Foggy Lake in the Basin, and then probably really book it down the proper trail. But this is a really cool peak, and I will definitely be back on a clear day, probably to do Del Campo, which is the other big peak up here. But I think this one's fun just because it's less popular and more remote, so got to go back down though. The scramble is really fun though. Okay, so we just came down that, and that was probably the sketchiest part of the whole climb. Made it safely back down by this beautiful little tarn and going to descend back into the basin. That's a good view of Foggy Lake. I know the best one is if you climb Del Campo, is when you can see like the whole lake, but this definitely isn't bad. There's the lower basin. And then up there where that cloud is, that's where you have to climb to get to Foggy Lake, and then all down this beautiful. It's clear over there. That's where it was clear. All right, well, that is the last view in Gothic Basin, and this has been fantastic, even without the, you know, grand mountain views. Got to appreciate these beautiful rocky basin with these alpine tarns. But now I'm gonna start the 4 miles back to the car. And I'm gonna try and be pretty fast, so not gonna shoot too much on the way out, but should be pretty. Well, I made it back down into the car. As you can probably see, it got a little bit sunnier on the hike down, and this was a great peak, even though we didn't get the views. I know this is a bit of an odd video just because I didn't quite film in the same way I normally do, but that's because I was getting to know a new climbing partner, and the reason for that is we're going to be prepping to climb a much bigger objective in a couple of weeks here. So my priority was, you know, getting to know my climbing partner. It is the way it is. Gothic Basin is gorgeous. However, it is extremely crowded on weekends with backpackers. So I'm not sure I really recommend it as a backpacking destination. It's just so crowded. But Gothic Peak was really fun. Like the slabs and the final scramble is really neat. I'll definitely be back to Tag del Campo probably next year when I can persuade my niece to go back up that steep rocky trail. But I definitely want to come back on a clear day and get the views from a summit in Gothic Basin. But anyway, this was really fun, and I cannot wait for even more peak bagging adventures later just this month. Thank you so much for watching. Here are my favorite pictures from the trail today. Enjoy.